What's going on YouTube? Bolt Matrix here, and today we are taking a look at Titan's Return Leader Class Autobot Blaster. Now, I will be the first one to admit that Blaster was not my first choice. I would have preferred a Soundwave or maybe somebody else. But we're getting a Blaster, so oh well, okay. Soundwave is going to be coming in a later wave, though. I do have to give the mold designers credit. Blaster, or this mold of Blaster, is just spot on. I really can't think of a better mold representation of Blaster than this guy. In the front, you can see he's got his tape deck. We'll take a look at that in a second. He's got this little handle in the back. Overall, the aesthetic of the figure is great from top to bottom. It's a very bright, vibrant figure, which I greatly appreciate, and there isn't a lot of contrasting colors, but that's okay because the original Blaster didn't have that. Head sculpt is also more akin to the original Generation 1 comic books than what we saw in the show. It's got that little visor up front. The head is stored underneath this helmet and comes out very easily and can be replaced by any other Titan Master. The actual Titan Master, once transformed, looks more like his cartoon visage than his comic book visage. And look at that, they even molded speakers into the shins of the Titan Master. Other Titan Masters fit with no problems. Here's screaming Nightbeat. And Nightbeat is still screaming. For a figure of this size class, Blaster has phenomenal posability. Head is on a swivel, so it doesn't have up and down movement, but you kind of have to expect that given the Headmaster gimmick. Plastic ratchets in the shoulders for both backwards and forwards, in and out. Swivel above the elbow, ratchet in the elbow. Fists do not articulate, but there is that swivel. No torso articulation. Nice ratchets in the hips for both forward and back, in and out. Swivel at the thigh. 90-degree bend at the knee. And the feet do have in and out rotation, or I should say articulation, and some forward and back articulation. So you can get off some good poses. I'm not going to try to pose him because, as you guys know, I'm terrible at posing figures. Taking a look at his tape deck, it can be activated with this button here on his chest. That opens up, revealing this hunk of plastic. But that can be replaced with either Rewind or Stripes, who fit snugly within the Robot Mode's chest. As long as that snap continues to work, everything will work fine. The figure's gun is a complete copy of his original G1 gun, or at least as far as I can tell. Transformation into tape deck is much more complex than you would initially think. To start off with, we're going to open up the helmet and pull off the Titan Master, come to the back of just behind the head and flip out this panel, thus being able to fold up the head like that, or the helmet, I should say, and then we can grab the handle and flip that straight up. Come to the hands and fold the hands into the forearms and turn the shoulders and put the arms straight out and turn the shoulders, I should say, like that, so that the hands, with the folded up hands, are pointing forward. Come down to the skirt armor and flip that straight up as far as it will go. Turn the figure around to the back, where you are at the back of the legs, spread the legs a little bit, and unpeg the rear of the legs so that the sections fold out like that. Then take a look at the bottom of the feet, fold the front toes up, then come up to the knees and unpeg the knees from the sides of the inner leg. And then the legs will fold down into this section like this. With the thighs collapsed into the lower legs, we will then take the feet and on this double set of hinges, fold the feet up into the gray section of the boombox, which requires a little bit more force than you would initially think it should. With the figure partially transformed into the boombox, we're going to turn the legs at the swivels so that they are pointing up like that. And I mean the boombox fronts are going to point up. Then spread the legs out like this. And then we will collapse the front of the boomboxes until they peg into the shoulders. And I actually have this slightly mistransformed because we want the front of the shoulders to be pointing forward so these little pegs can peg into the shoulders like that. And then there's a peg on the forearm like that. And then there's a peg just underneath where the hand is folded up, like that. And lastly, take those two front skirt panels and fold them down like that. And here we have his boombox mode. This mode is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm rather fond of this. It looks so much better in person than it did on pictures online. One thing that I have noticed, though, is it doesn't hold together all that well. You really do have to be careful about how you handle it sometimes. Something that I did not do correctly initially with the transformation is that I didn't have the hips here lined up correctly, but you can reach in here and move them with your fingers if they're out of place. Boombox mode works really well. Yeah, I realize that this being, 2016 when I'm shooting this review, most of you out there might not know what a boombox is, but back in my day, this is how we listened to the music. None of your iPod phone droid things. Now there is one more mode that we do need to show off, and that is his base mode. To start the transformation into base mode, first we're going to open up his deck here, and then flip out this little gun panel. Next, come up to the front of the boombox, fold down the speakers like this, flip out these little trays, take the shoulders and unpeg them, turn them, point the arms straight to the sky, and then bend the arms back and flip out the cannons like this. Just do that on the other side as well. The directions have the arms bent out a little bit, or bent up a little bit, but on the one side, this gun is just much too loose, and this is actually the only loose piece on the entire figure. Everything else holds together really well. Lastly, flip up these little bits right here, and fold out these sections like that. And yeah, that's just about it. Save for taking this apart now, even though the directions say to put it together. We can put the gun here, take the Titan Master out, put the cannon, up here on the handle, and then the Titan Master can sit snugly in this section right here. So that is the base mode. It really does remind me of the original Power Master Prime base mode. Really no point to it. It's more like a fan mode. I'm not dissing on it. I am glad they included it, but I don't know, it's just kind of silly. Cool, but kind of silly. The only negative criticism that I can really levy against this guy has to do with one little QC issue with these swivels. When transforming him, the swivels do have a tendency to slide out way too easily for my taste, but they slide and snap right back in just as easily, so it's not that huge of a deal. In fact, I just wanted to bring it up because you might think you broke the figure, but you didn't. Overall, Titans Return Blaster is fan-freaking-tastic. It's a great figure, totally belongs in your collection. You guys should run out and pick it up now if you can. I picked this guy up at BigBadToyStore.com. As always, gang, I'm Bolt Matrix, asking you to like, comment, and subscribe, and I and the other Titan Masters will catch you next time.